We steal customers from restaurants. No one knows.
I really like that.
They were like booming. Let's test it out. We did not deliver properly. We were always delaying orders. There was always delays. It goes without any guidance. It was crazy. I was afraid to do so. 80%, 70% out of them, they will shut down.
Okay, I need to start something.
Will not work. It's tricky somehow. You are from a different level. Someone is doing everything for you. What if I ordered and you did not deliver tomorrow? This is the breaking point for you. You can get it for a cheaper price. It's weird.
I'll give you unlimited funding.
We don't want to work. Please shut it down.
Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the AI Best Business Show, the show where you best learn about business, entrepreneurship, tech. Today with me I have Abdullah on the show. Abdullah is from, is it LogE or is it LogE?
LogE, it's logistics but electronic.
Okay, LogE. It's going to be an exciting episode. I'm excited for this. Abdullah, who are you?
So I've been in the sector, I think the tech sector for the past 10 years. I've worked for Delivery Hero. I've worked for Rocket Internet. So for Rocket Internet, I was in the ride-hailing business. We launched early on Easy Taxi. It was a taxi hailing basically app before Uber and Careem they come to the region, or before Careem basically start. And then I stayed there for about 6 years. Started with them as an operations manager, and then I became a country manager. After that, I moved to Delivery Hero. It's basically also, you can say, a next Rocket Internet company. So mostly the people who were managing the company, they are ex-colleagues in a way or another.
Okay.
So yeah, I think here it started to give me more answers about what I want to do in the future.
Okay. You worked at Easy Taxi, you worked at Delivery Hero, you worked at Talabat at one point too, or
Talabat is basically I was working for Talabat. Talabat is one of the companies owned by Delivery.
Okay. And what did you learn from these experiences? What were your challenges and learnings from these experiences?
I'll tell you more about Easy Taxi or Rocket Internet in specific. So in Rocket, I spent most of my time in my professional career. Before that, I was working for Daimler in Germany. Before that, I worked for a small, let's say, environmental friendly products for big construction companies in UAE. So in Rocket Internet, it's a bit different from any other, let's say, startup builders or venture capital. We started as a startup. We had a bit of money in the bank. We had to process everything our own selves. We did not have that huge team. We started big, by the way, with Easy Taxi. We started with 8 countries.
Wow.
And we downsized to 2 countries only.
Okay.
So we started with Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, Saudi, Jordan, and we were planning also Egypt, but Egypt was following another, let's say, region. So we started as a big team, and then we downsized to a very small team. So we, in a way or another, we failed a bit because, people, they were following private cars and so on. And then we were thinking how to rebrand ourselves in a new direction. So at Rocket Internet phase, I learned a lot. I learned how to become more hands-on, how to stay all over, like, at each step, small process, you need to be there. It's challenging, I think, but I learned a lot. In Delivery Hero, I think I came into a phase where they are big. They are not startup anymore. They're a corporate. So I learned also the corporate side of the business, where when you scale, you meet another people. You are from a different level. Your company is more, let's say, well established and so on. So it's different experiences where I learned the small things, how to do the small things, and how to execute on the big scale.
Okay. Well, you spoke about being at kind of a startup at Easy Taxi and then
Yeah,
at a corporate at Delivery Hero. What are
yeah.
the differences between being a startup and being in corporate? What are the main differences?
So in startups, there's no barriers. If you want
Okay.
to reach the CEO, you reach him like over Skype, over Slack, over whatever chat, over WhatsApp. Uh, in delivery, it was the same basically. If I wanted to reach out to a CEO, I can reach him on WhatsApp and so on. But there is a huge team who, like for each single thing, someone can solve for you an issue. So it's a huge team. There is somehow some politics.
Okay.
It comes to play because of the structure, huge teams, and so on. And also, it takes more time to solve things because it needs to go through a process, through an approval layer, and so on. So no, in a startup, if you want to travel to Saudi, you have the visa, you can travel tomorrow. You need
Okay.
to book your flight, you need to do everything on your own. On a bigger scale, no. Someone is doing everything for you, and you only just do the strategy and so on.
Okay. So basically in a startup, you have more flexibility. You're wearing
Yeah,
different hats, you're doing different stuff.
exactly,
In a
exactly.
corporate, you just have one role that you're focusing on, and that's your role that you should succeed in.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
exactly.
You worked in these two environments, both had something to do with logistics, with kind of, and with Easy Taxi, it was figuring logistics of dropping people from a place to another.
100%.
With Delivery Hero, it was delivering items from place to another. Uh, how did the conversation start with LogE? Like, what were the gaps when you were working at these two companies? What are the gaps you saw in the market that you're like, okay, I need to start something?
So I'll tell you something. Uh, so when I was working for Rocket Internet, when I was serving under Delivery Hero, sorry, Easy Taxi. So basically, in the same office, we had Hello Food, which is a food panda company. So, at the early days of food delivery, it was an ordering platform only, where the restaurant gets the order and he delivers on his own. There is no logistics side of it.
Right.
Uh, so sometimes I used to see some restaurant owners coming to the office. Sometimes I had to maybe sometimes to discuss with them because we are the same team, the same boat, but everyone is handling different things. So I used to discuss with them what are the bottlenecks, what are the challenges, and so on. And mostly those people who I used to meet are the small owners. So they always complain about suppliers. They always complain about the huge logistics. It happens behind the scene when until they get the order from a supplier, how many suppliers they need to get in touch with, and so on. So it clicked at that time, but actually, I said it's too early, or I was afraid to do so, to launch something basically. Then I worked for a food aggregator, and I traveled more, and I met more restaurants. I met the small ones. I met the big names, and all of them they have the same issue. So I said, okay, I think it's time to do something. I called, by the way, one of the co-founders is my older brother.
Okay.
He works at FMCG. So he is a commercial guy in the FMCG sector. And another friend of mine, he used to own a commercial building
Okay.
where it has many restaurants. He is, by the way, he is an engineer, civil engineer. He is handling operations at meantime. So we came together to the same table. I was coming back from Oman. I was not that much happy working, still working, not doing something, and so on. I came to my place. I called my brother. I told him I want you. I need to discuss something with you. I told them about what's happening, how restaurants they suffer. Uh, I had like a bunch of numbers. What's the market value? what is the generated GMP in sales, what is the generated GMP from the supplier side,
Okay.
and all of these small details. And I showed them how much the opportunity is big. Then I told them there is something my brother doesn't understand what's the difference. At that time, he did not understand the difference between a marketplace or an e-commerce platform,
Okay.
where you do the whole logistics or you just give orders to suppliers. So he told me it's easy. We do like Talabat. I told him no, it's not that easy. I don't think suppliers will accept it that easy. Because in a way or another, I remember we used to steal customers from restaurants and we bring them to the platform. So I said it will repeat again. Suppliers will say we will steal the restaurants from them and we will sell them the products. So we had we went into a small plan, all of us, the three of us. And we had also another friend. He used to own a restaurant, and he was also an ex Hello Food employee.
Okay.
So we came together on the table. We started like doing some sketches, what we can do, and what kind of product, an MVP we need. So we started with a marketplace. And then we found that it's very hard to sign up. We launched in 2019, December. It was very early. No one were thinking about this. There was only one startup in the States called Groshipa. They are an e-commerce platform. And we said we don't want to spend that much. We had a bunch of money. Each one of us has small amount in the bank. So we start as a marketplace and we launch. So we met about 150, 160 suppliers. All of them rejected. Only one guy accepted. This guy basically is not the official distributor of X item. No, he's a wholesaler. So there is a gap in pricing. Yeah. So we said, okay, then it will not work because we need to mark up and then put on the platform, and the prices will not be competitive. So we will not acquire anyone. No one will test the service. So I think we made a small pilot on 2 friends. They like the idea. They like that they can see all data. And they like the idea that they can track each single item that comes into inventory, because it's always paperwork. Paperwork gets lost. They lose some papers. Sometimes they don't see their purchases maybe for like 3-4 days. So some stuff they get it on a higher price. It affects their food costs and so on. So I think they like the idea that they can see everything, all transactions. So I said, I guess we will not work as a marketplace. However, today there is many marketplaces in the restaurant sector, in the HoReCa sector. They are doing pretty good. So we took the other step. We said, okay, we will buy from suppliers in bulk, and we will focus on the small players, the small restaurants, small size, and so on. So we wanted to build logistics. So I thought, I came from the ride hailing experience, where basically we pushed all of us, Uber, Careem, Genie, Bolt, whatever, all these brands, they pushed the shared economy model, and then it boomed. Today we see shared offices like WeWork. It failed, but however there is other like players also, they're doing well. So shared economy is the new thing. People, they can share vehicles and so on. So we started talking to those truck drivers who work on freelance, come work with us per drop. So we built our logistics fleet on the same model. That's how we kicked off, let's say, the private cars in the shared economy. So it worked fine. And then we kept on working till March 2020, and then we shut down. We were like off without any operations for 7 months or so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a challenge.
Okay. Let me go back to something. You mentioned marketplace. Why is building a marketplace that difficult?
Tell you something. So suppliers mainly, let's say in the smaller markets like Jordan. Today we are only in Jordan. We're still operating in Jordan. So in countries like Jordan, somehow pricing is vague.
Okay.
So today a big player, when they come to this X supplier, he distributes mayonnaise. So he will build some, let's say, bonus model for this big restaurant or big brand. So to drop the price on them, to give him a discount. So what happens basically, they don't want to, let's say, pass on this info for everyone in the market, so they can do more money in the small scale, in the
Okay.
small
Okay.
restaurants. So for them, suppliers, they don't want to always offer, let's say, the best price available on platforms.
Okay.
I guess till today, we saw it. We are doing all this price analysis, even though in the neighboring countries, because we are thinking to launch in another country in the upcoming 3 months. So these kind of things, it makes restaurant or like restaurants, they are the customers. So at some point they churn.
Okay.
And when they churn, it's very hard to reactivate the customers,
Okay.
restaurants. They lose faith in your pricing, they lose faith in service, and so on. And then they go and move on to the supplier directly.
Okay.
Here, you need to replace this customer with another customer. So it's tricky somehow. It has more expenses holding its stock and so on, like any other dark store. But however, if you follow data properly, I think you don't need that much of capital to have let's say, some stock just to fulfill your day. So you need to be smart. You need to be on time always while ordering from suppliers. When you get the bulk and you allocate it to everyone, you can give the bonus, the same
Okay.
bonus that the supplier day gives. So yeah, pricing, I think the main thing.
Okay. Uh, you go from there. Now you have LogE, which it's an e-commerce platform. I want to take this example. I'm Ahmed. I'm a restaurant owner. I found your company. I reach out to you. What services can you provide me?
So I told you we started as a marketplace. We directly moved from a marketplace. We pivoted to an e-commerce platform. Now, we talked about churn in a bit. So we were thinking, what's next for a restaurant to stay within our platform?
Okay.
At some point, so I saw this statistics through my experience in restaurant in food aggregators. So restaurants mostly they launch. Let's say we launched what 1,000 restaurants launched in Jordan last year. So 80%, 70% out of them they will shut down, and
Yes.
then those left 30%, basically they might be at the same level for a long period, and some of them they expand, they grow, and they become medium, and then they become large. So those people, 100%, they will have the purchase power to buy like as much as we are buying when they have like 15 branches in different countries and so on. Then they will lose also. We will lose these customers, and they will move on. So procurement in a restaurant, it has many bottlenecks, even though at a large scale. So at a large scale, they start like, let's say, building their own ERP or buying these expensive softwares like Oracle or whatever, Micros and so on, or getting into a PS system like Toast or whatever. But here, going into a POS, it has all services, inventory, and so on. Inventory is built in a way that it's fixed. Let's say 1 liter of X, it gives me 1 liter of X. When you punch in the invoices you receive, you need to punch it in as the measure is, let's say, how did you input the measure at the beginning?
Right.
So this process, it doesn't happen with a, let's say, a guy who receives items in a restaurant, 100% he's not the accountant or the
Yes,
procurement manager, correct?
exactly.
Maybe he is the janitor, maybe he is the cashier, maybe he is the waiter.
Okay.
So
Maybe
this
it's the
guy
chef.
is not, maybe it's the
Yeah.
chef, but the chefs, they are mostly educated. They know what they
Okay.
are doing. But a cashier, he doesn't know how to do the data entry. He doesn't know how to do it properly. A janitor, 100% he doesn't know how to do it. And also, a waiter, the waiter is the same thing. So here you need to make the process easier. So what kind of softwares are available in the market? There is 100%. There is many softwares in the market, but they are very expensive. So we are doing good amount of revenue from the e-commerce side. So adding up a SaaS thing, a SaaS product, where it serves them with the bigger, let's say, with their direct communication with the suppliers. It's another service. So it's a communication tool plus inventory management tool in the easiest, let's say, at the easiest, let's say, customer experience you can see. Anyone in the restaurant can receive the goods. Everything gets the data comes into the software directly because everything is automated the process. So we have small triggers how we built it from our own learning.
Okay.
So it was built on our own learning. It was not built by us, the product. It was built by customers we have in our database. Even the big ones. We have one big franchise in Jordan, two big franchises they work with us. So one of them, they were suffering with this, and they had an expensive software, but it doesn't serve the other employees. It serves only the procurement manager and the accountant. So this is how we built the other service.
So basically, you're taking this procurement software that's so complicated that only could be used by one player, and you're making it
Yes,
easy to use by everyone at the restaurant that
100%.
could receive the
Yes.
item. Okay. And when you're going out to to that restaurant, what are you telling them to convince them to work with you?
So
Because I know dealing with the restaurants is hard. Restaurants always don't want to change stuff. They know how they're working with their own
100%.
items.
I
Uh,
agree.
how are how are you approaching the owner and telling him, okay, how about you try our software? How about you try this? How's the integration going?
So first of all, we are going to convince them. We tried online marketing. It did not work for us because they will sign up. I think no. We tried it. We did not have any sign up. We spent about 1,500 and something. We did not have any sign up, any
It
single
doesn't
sign up.
work.
It
It
was
doesn't
very
work.
clear. It did not work. So we have sales people. I was one of those salespeople at the beginning, uh, and also till today. So we have salespeople, sales acquisition team. They go acquire restaurants. They tell them about our app. They show them the app. They show them how many features they have in the app. They show them the prices also. This is a very critical point. And at the end of the day, when they show them all of these things, they get convinced. But there is one bottleneck always in this deal. Uh, he comes to you and tells you, okay, what if I ordered and you did not deliver tomorrow? So our promise, we deliver next day in the morning. So it's a conspiracy theory because they tried
Right.
other suppliers and they did not deliver. So we tell them, we start with them with a small, let's say, a bunch of like three, four,
Test
five items.
testing
They test
basically.
only three, four items. And then we show them that we have a quite solid service. And then they start scaling up their ticket size.
Okay.
And also the account manager, it's one of his, let's say, jobs is to scale the ticket size.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. You spoke about something logistics, and we know logistics is hard to figure out. And you basically are delivering the items from the supplier to the restaurants, right? Or
No. So
okay,
basically what we do, we have a small procurement team.
okay,
They buy based on data, what kind of
okay,
items we need. So we have stock levels of 3 to up to 4 days.
Okay.
It depends on the item also. Some items you need to buy it in huge bulk where it sustains us for 1 month, 1 month and a half. So it's like you are ordering from any quick commerce app.
Okay.
There is some
And
stock in the warehouse and so on.
okay,
So this,
how does the item get delivered from your warehouse to them?
so basically, as I told you, we have uh, about 10 vehicles in the fleet. All of them, they are freelancers. These guys, we have also pickers. They get the orders. They start sorting out the orders early in the morning, around 5 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. They start picking up and so on and organizing the orders, and they start the dispatch at 7:30.
Okay.
And there is like some certain technology triggers here. So each car it gets assigned a number of orders within the same, let's say, destination
Okay.
to cut off the delivery time. So here also we are different from the supplier car. Supplier car it goes without any guidance. They get the list of orders, maybe on a PDA, if you remember PDAs. Still to the day they use it. So they have the restaurant name and the area, and the driver he follows like the direct. He doesn't follow sorry any direction. He just go with the flow. If there is some traffic there, he moves from this customer to another customer, and he goes back to
Right.
another customer. So yeah, it's let's say a zigzag journey
Yeah.
while he's delivering. Ours, no, it keeps on giving him the best choices to go into. So if there is some traffic, it gives him another restaurant choice to deliver to, and so on.
Okay. What are the challenges you faced building that logistic side of the business?
So basically, as I told you, we wanted to optimize routes for drivers. Uh, Depending on Google Maps only, it was catastrophe at the beginning because there is a buffer always with traffic.
Right.
I think there is a 15 minutes buffer or 10, I don't know honestly, but there is some buffer where sometimes it tells you the roads are open and then the driver he gets stuck in the
Okay.
road. So what we have done, we built, I think also this kind of thing, ride-hailing apps, they do it for when they increase prices.
Right.
So we collected data from different days of deliveries and we triggered each, let's say, specific area. We built like some, in Jordan, we don't have geohashes for the country. We built something, we drew the map, and then we plugged the data into the map and based on each day, based on each day of the week, it gives a different guidance to the driver.
Okay.
And day over day, data optimizes the routes better. Day over day, our deliveries become faster. So what we faced at the beginning, we did not deliver properly. We were always delaying orders. There was always delays. Today we have only 95%, 5% only delay, which is
Okay.
pretty good. Yeah.
Wow.
So I think this part of the tech side, it solved tons of issues in logistics.
Okay. I want to go back. We spoke about all these challenges. You said something when you were explaining the story. You stopped working in March of 2020 for 7 months.
Yeah.
Take me back to these 7 months. Take me back to this area.
So I remember, first of all, we don't have a tech co-founder.
Okay.
So we have two friends. They are in another country. They joined us as employees. And they hired also another like two guys or three guys. So we were like, we had like a huge tech team. And we wanted to, honestly speaking, we had an MVP, but we wanted to be very fast on the technology side because this is the breaking point for you. If you have a product, I think it's only one saying for me. If you have a good product, and then everything will follow. Like building a good product is something that established for you good. First of all, it should be built by customers. It should like this is your only baby. You need to build it
Yes.
properly. So whatever comes after, it will follow growth, scale, good GMV, whatever. So we shut down and we said, okay. I think it was 8 p.m. We were all of us. We were at the warehouse. We had two dark stores at the beginning, by the way. We had one for fresh produce and we had one for, like, let's say, condiments and so on. So we got the news that tomorrow, like, no one is going out, everyone is staying home, and that's it. So we had only, I think, $60,000 in the bank.
Okay.
And we did not know what will happen. Maybe it will take 1 month, maybe it will take 2 days. Nothing, no one knows. So for the first month, everything was like, I think 2 weeks in Jordan, everything was closed. And then they told us some, like, groceries will start working. People, they can go and buy their own stuff. So we said, like, I need to pay the guys. So from 60, I had, I think at that time, $42,000.
Okay.
So I said, okay, I need to generate some revenue at least where I can pay, let's say, the sales guys and so on. So we thought, like, okay, let's start doing B2B grocery. So if you want to get into grocery, there is, like, also at the B2B side, there is like more than 15,000 SKUs to start with.
Yes.
And most of them, they are, like, also mandatory. You can't just, like, play with 1,500 items.
Yes.
And you don't know if these are necessities or not. For us, we did not know the products. So I said, let's test it out. So after, like, 3 days, we had, like, two content girls. I had a call with them in the evening. I told them, okay, there's like 5,000 SKUs. I want to just put it on the website and the mobile apps, and I will figure out how we are going to buy the goods. So they uploaded everything. And then, like, the guys, there was, like, some like restrictions on how you move in Jordan.
Okay. Okay.
So you need to go through a government process to issue some card, and this card, basically it's a digital card, so you can move around in the country. So I had, like, 3 permits, one for my brother, one for me, and one for the sales guy. So we started roaming around the country, going to supermarkets, or kiosks, and so on, trying to sell them the service. So all of them, they were looking at us laughing at the prices and everything. And then only one guy, he got convinced, and he ordered the next day.
Oh, nice. Okay. Now we have to figure out how to buy the product and get it to them.
Basically, we don't have stock, we don't have anything. So we had, like, a connection with one of the big wholesalers. So we served the guy. And then, like, it was only one order since, like, the past 3 months, we did not have any order. It was the first order in the past three months. So we said, okay, what's next, man? So we met about 100 supermarkets, so hundreds of grocery stores. None of them, they are looking at our face, even though while we are talking. And grocery stores at that time, they were, like, booming. Like,
Yes.
a small place, he was selling in, like, for 10,000 JDs.
Yes.
It was crazy, and people, the queues, and no one is able to buy. And he shut down the supermarket at 6 p.m. It was crazy.
Yes.
So we figured out like I was talking to the guys that told me, look, it will not work. And basically the CEO, he was nagging for the past 5 weeks. That time, please shut it down. We don't want to work. We will pay the guys. We will borrow money, anything, but let's not waste our time. So we stopped that operations. We removed everything, and so on. And we were like without any operations, and we ended up the period having only $10,000 in our bank
Wow.
account.
Went down from 60 to $10,000. Okay.
Yeah, it's 6 months basically. We
Yeah.
had like someone is leaving,
Yeah.
so the budget becomes like
Yeah. Less.
lower,
Yeah.
less and less and less until we reach $2,000.
Okay. We spoke about the past. We spoke about where you are right now. Where are you going to be in the next 5 years?
So I'm not gonna tell you this. I think this is like it's a town talk. Everyone will tell you, "Oh, I want to get into AI. I want to get into blockchains." No, what we are thinking, what we are looking at building a bigger data center for us for better
Okay.
decision making. Through the past period, the past 3 years for us, we learned a lot. It was uh, it was there was drastic changes in pricing. Uh, Rice, it was at $1, it jumped to $2.
Okay.
And it's 100% drop
Percent.
in
Right.
price. Oil is the same thing, frying oil and so on. So prices were like increasing like crazy.
Okay.
And restaurants, they were not able to increase prices, by the way. It was a big, till today, it's a huge challenge for any restaurant to survive at this cost of procurement for them,
Okay.
especially for the kitchen. So what we are thinking of how to build a proper database for them to have of X item the price analysis of the item at its point of origin, how much it costs the supplier to get it inside the country, so they can have the ability of negotiate. They have the ability to negotiate the supplier. Today there is no negotiation tools for them.
Okay.
It's only it's all based on let's say a hearing from his neighbor. So his neighbor tells him, okay, you can get it for a cheaper price. If he has the experience, he can negotiate X supplier. But they don't have this database, proper database. So
Okay.
we want to build a better data, let's say, driven decision making tool, and so on.
Okay. Uh, let's say you weren't building LogE right now.
Yeah.
I come to you, I tell you I'm an investor, I'll give you unlimited funding. What
Yeah.
would you go and build?
Uh, it's basically it's not the company.
Okay.
I would get into manufacturing.
Nice. What manufacturing?
I think it's something related to cars. It's not
Okay.
electric vehicles 100%.
Okay.
But I would think about how to recycle batteries in the region because there is
Nice.
no factory in the region. I don't know if there is a
Yeah.
factory,
Okay.
but recycling batteries for electric cars is a huge topic. It will become like something very huge in the upcoming
Okay.
years.
Interesting. I really like that.
Yeah.
Abdullah, I think we had a great episode. Anjad, I really enjoyed the
Thank
conversation.
you.
I
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed the information. Uh, what I like, on the podcast, I've met with different marketplaces for restaurants, different procurement for restaurants. I even met with different e-commerce for food delivery for home as
Yeah.
home delivery. What I like about the region is each one is building with their own different perspective, and
100%.
each one is changing something in what they're building, and the market is big for many players to go in and compete.
I
And
agree.
we have great talent coming out of the region like you and your team.
Thank
So
you.
and I like talking to you guys. I like enjoying and listening and knowing more of what you're doing. So thank you for building. Thank you for changing the region. Thank you for being
Thank you
here
so
in the
much.
podcast. Any last words you want to say? Where could people follow more of what you're doing? Are you guys hiring? Feel free to do so.
Yes, we are hiring. As I told you, we are thinking. We are actually launching another markets in the upcoming 3 months.
Can you say
So,
which market it is?
yeah, I can. It's Iraq.
Okay.
It's weird. I know it's weird. But I guess competition will come. We have competition, by the way, in Jordan. Our competitors, they are marketplaces. There is another e-commerce platform, and also wholesalers. They are also our competitors. But I guess we want to get into the untapped markets more.
Okay.
Uh, and I think the opportunity is growing in Iraq. You can see
Yes.
the last 6 months what's happening there.
Yes. So you're hiring. Where could people follow more of what you're doing? Is it LinkedIn? Where do you have LinkedIn?
Mostly
Okay.
LinkedIn. We are not active that much on
I see.
social media. We depend a lot on sales, direct contact with the customers.
Perfect.
But I think I told you we are launching the new service, which is a system as a service thing.
Right.
So we are revamping also our websites. We are getting more into, let's say, more into branding stuff. So people, they will be aware more about what we are doing in the upcoming 2 months.
Okay. Abdullah, again, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.